left with one card. Shadow King. Hello everyone, I'm back with another video for you today, and I have a deck that should be matching up pretty damn well into Ghost Spider, the new Season Pass card that presumably quite a few people will be running. If you are encountering that, then I have the perfect deck for you here, capable of some really crazy point swings and very fun shenanigans, and just, you know, a solid shell in general. It is the Silver Surfer shell of a deck. I am playing the kings of the game, the Kingpin, the Shadow King. Some cards you do not see very often, for good reason. They're not very good, but they do fit quite nicely into a Silver Surfer deck because they're both 3 mana, so you can buff those cards up. You typically want to play Juggernaut anyway in Silver Surfer, which synergizes very well with Kingpin. You can play Juggernaut in one location and Kingpin in another on the last turn, for example, with a Sera on the board, combo it with your Silver Surfer, and that will mean the Juggernaut kicks anything out, winning you the location. The Kingpin cleans up anything that gets moved there and wins you the other location. So that's a nice combo. I didn't manage to pull it off in the games today. It's a little bit difficult to find the exact spot for it to work. But in theory, very powerful and very strong against the movement as well, because, you know, things like Heimdall and stuff you can counter very easily with Kingpin. So if you're facing that kind of stuff, this deck will be great. Shadow King in there as a bit of a... I actually think it's quite okay in Silver Surfer, giving you a nice little tech card that you can utilize. The issue here is I don't have a lot of low mana cost cards, which means the curve of the deck is very bad. So consider, if you want to optimize this sort of deck, maybe cut the Kingpin, maybe cut the Shadow King for something like a Scorpion or a Nova for that early game power. But yeah, otherwise, deck's pretty functional. It is Silver Surfer. You've probably seen it already. Pretty nice deck, although it can be countered quite effectively by things like Wave. Galactus sometimes can be tricky. You've got some counter cards in there for that. You've got Killmonger in there to deal with the Swarmy decks, the 1-cost cards, so that's very nice. But yeah, I'd probably give this deck a 7 out of 10. Not the best thing ever. You could optimize it a little bit more as well, but definitely had some fun with this one and some highlights. So with that being said, let's jump right into the gameplay. Okay, let's get into the first game. We've got cloning vats being a thing which isn't that amazing. We can maybe copy a Goose though, and make it difficult for the opponent to play stuff. We do seem to be up against a bit of a movement deck. I'm going to do double Goose to make their plays a bit awkward, hopefully. Okoye is kind of unusual. That's not a card you see that often. You know, in... well, generally speaking, it's just not a very common card, is it? I guess I play a Polaris here to move them to the left. Try to fill up that location in case they are a movement-based deck. Try to take away value there. I suppose they could play a Cloak later and move everything away, which could be a bit annoying. I have Killmonger. That's maybe going to come in handy. The Goose, I'm probably not playing anywhere else. Maybe I shouldn't have even copied it, to be quite honest. But I suppose for now, just a Mr. Fantastic. Keep things relatively straightforward. Go with that Sera next turn in the right location. Lots of movement stuff here, so I presume that Kingpin could get a lot of work done if we end up drawing him. Maybe the Shadow King as well, to be quite honest, can take away strength from all sorts of things if we hit it. This is very interesting. We have to think about where the opponent may be going. Quite an interesting one. I feel like playing Kingpin mid is probably a good shout. That being said, we don't actually have priority, never mind, so I can't use the Kingpin. I can definitely use the Shadow King. I think I want to use that in the middle. So probably something along these lines should be winning, I would imagine. I'm going to go for this play. I think it's going to be good enough to win. Doctor Strange, and then... well, interesting, actually. Might be maybe Ghost Spider after that or so, just to move... oh no, just a Vulture. Okay. That's a lot less scary than I thought it would be, honestly. I thought Ghost Spider shenanigans would be happening for sure, but... we had it covered with Shadow King, funnily enough, and get a nice 4-cuber there. Important to remember, we need priority for the Kingpin to work. That's something I you know, was not thinking about here, but... Well, we can always Juggernaut them in, I suppose, as well. Anyway, let's go next. Alright, what have we got here? Cloning Vats, once more. Not super impactful. Maybe I can do double Silver Surfer? Double Brood? Double Silver Surfer? Maybe play Brood now? I mean, double Brood's pretty strong, honestly, but... I think single Brood and then play the Silver Surfer in the middle, get one of those copied, seems pretty good to me. Oh, okay, so we are going to get double Brood. Without, in fact, trying to. I think we want to just double Silver Surfer this, right? Now, I could consider playing another Brood first. Maybe that's even the play, right? Let's play another Brood first. I guess I can play it in the middle location. This is really good for me. I'm going to go with a Snap. I think we're in a very good spot. 2 Broods. Maybe I should have just gone for that play anyway. I mean, the Quake ended up maybe helping me out here in some way. Forgiving me of my mistakes, shall we say. Okay, Darkhawks I can't affect with Shadow King, unfortunately, because it's an ongoing effect. One of the big issues with that card, of course. I guess Goose here is quite strong. I could also Goose middle. But perhaps we want to, you know, not do that. We've got the Silver Surfer. I could have played Sera here, but I think playing double Surfer's probably more power. I didn't do the maths on that, technically, but... So, going for Kingpin Juggernaut here seems quite strong. The only issue is... Yeah, I think we probably don't go for it because I haven't got the Sera. I think we need to be playing the Silver Surfer. It's just a lot of power. It's just very strong. Maybe something like this is the play. Just try to force them out of that right location and then hit them with the Surfer. I think that should be winning, right? Let's send that in their direction. I think I would have liked to go with Juggernaut Kingpin if we had played Sera in this game. But okay, just going to be a nice win. Next game. Got my Sera, that's nice. My late game will be, for sure, pretty decent. The curve with this deck's slightly off. You know, you probably want one more early game card instead of a 3-cost card, but I wanted to play the Shadow King and stuff like that, so did decide to go for that. I think we probably want to just go with Storm here. I guess I can do it in the Cloning Vats. It's not feeling amazing, so... But I don't really want the opponent to be getting a ton of like Kitty Pryde value and stuff, right? So I think I will play the Storm here. Might not be that great for me. The Shadow King could work on Thor, but unfortunately... not really going to happen here, is it? I suppose I can play Juggernaut just to have a foothold in this location. It's kind of rough. Honestly, the Thor is very powerful. I think I will play it here anyway, but the Thor is causing me some problems. I'm going to need a Mr. Fantastic, I guess, in order to deal with this. And even then, it looks like they have a Jeff, so kind of going to be tricky, unless they maybe don't draw Mjolnir. I suppose is always a possibility. Maybe I should have just gone for a Kingpin win condition rather than a trying to win this location that was kind of inevitably a little bit doomed. Mr. Fantastic would allow us to contest that and force them to move Jeff across. They're probably going to move Jeff across, I would imagine, anyway, to respect what I've got going on. Oh, it's actually Galactus? That is out of the blue. I guess the idea is to play a very unexpected Galactus from the opponent. A bit of a strange one. Certainly wasn't expecting that. I'm not sure I'm losing. I mean, I have my finisher. Shadow King here, not doing much of anything, so we probably just want to play these more powerful plays since I'm going first. I have a decent amount of power. Will it be enough? I'm just going to end turn. I don't think I'll snap on this. I think there's a lot of things that could certainly beat me, depending on what they have here at the end. But we can output a decent amount of power, and we're not vulnerable to Shang or Killmonger. So I guess we have it in the bag. Very nice. Very strange deck from the opponent. I guess just the pure surprise value Galactus. Very nice. Xandar once more. Okay, we'll see what we've got. Deadpool gonna be the thing. Ooh, Shadow King value. Dude, Shadow King's kind of not a great card, I must admit. I mean, it's good against movement. It's good against the Vulture and those sort of decks. It's a bit of a shame that I don't have priority. I could do some nasty things to the opponent with the Polaris and things like this. Try to win the Asgard. The Crimson Cosmos causes a bit of an issue for me. I suppose I will want to play Mr. Fantastic because I'd like to output some strength there. But yeah, unfortunately it couldn't disrupt this play. Kind of lack priority early game with this deck quite often, which is a little bit sad, I suppose. Is it just a Maximus? I think so. I'd quite like to do the Asgard just to have access to as much of my power as possible. Shuri from the opponent, interestingly. I do have priority, so I could go with a Juggernaut if that makes sense. Although it would still get the buff, you know, the doubling. And I assume it's going to be, what do you call him? Deadpool. Deadpool's probably eating this buff. I hope they'll have enough power here to give themselves priority, because then my Shadow King can be really good. I'm going to snap. Okay, we literally snapped at the same time. That's quite funny. Gonna see what we can do here. Oh, Nimrod gonna be used here. Okay, that's very interesting. So of course, Shadow King can do something there. My Kingpin is certainly less effective. I assume it'll be a Carnage plus Venom sort of finisher. I think Juggernaut here. That will ping away the Venom that the opponent plays on the left. And then we Shadow King and deal with the Nimrods. I think that's my line here. I think I'm confident, honestly. I need to think a little bit about the power we would have. The Shadow King is going to really nullify it. So I think this play looks good to me. We might even be able to win. Now, honestly, the Juggernaut only is going to do something. We may as well play the Silver Surfer here. It's only going to do something if they eat. So yeah, let's go. Send it. This guy's confident. He's very confident. Carnage going to be played, okay. And then Venom, I assume, on the left. I think we may have this person's number. Yeah. Easy wins, guys. That's how you do it. You got to predict them. Got to make sure you predict them. It's so satisfying taking the win here in the left with one card. Shadow King. I think that's the biggest Shadow King I'll ever see in my lifetime. Goodness me. Wow. What a game. That'll go down as one of my most heroic victories. Goodness me. The opponent was so confident as well. They were giving me all the emotes. What a great feeling. Truly one of a kind. Okay, well, we've got no early game again because I'm running Shadow King in my deck. It is what it is. Do I want to go into Hala with Mr. Fantastic? You know, it's not that exciting. I think Polaris, moving the Soul Stone across, is a good move. We might want to even move them into Hala, in all honesty, if we suspect them of doing some sneaky things. The Daredevil means probably Professor X, Lockdown, Spider-Man, that kind of vibe. It's certainly tempting to go for a Polaris here, isn't it? The opponent may be aware of that and have to feel like they have to play in the middle, which could mean that a Maximus play is quite strong here. I think I quite like it. I think I do quite like it. And then just Sera finish up with good old value. Got the Killmonger. Okay, Professor X coming in. Not the end of the world for us by any stretch of the imagination. We have, of course, the Sera now, and then I suppose Spider-Man's a little annoying, but now, of course, we may not be winning on the right because of Spider-Man middle, but we might be tying it, at least, you know, with Silver Surfer, so Worst case, we're tying, probably. Best case, better things are happening. They committed quite a lot in order to actually play that Professor X. It would have been a lot better for them probably if it had gone left location. That would be the case. Okay, they're doing double Professor X. That's fine with me. It doesn't really work because of the Monster Metropolis. Not sure why they would go for that play. I guess maybe they just didn't have the Spider-Man, but I've got all sorts of shenanigans now. I just want to output as much power as possible, so it'll be something like this. Very easy. We have priority. We can tie the right. We can even win the right with Mr. Fantastic, provided there's no Enchantress or the like from the opponent. Jeff? I suppose Jeff can do some things here, but I think we'll be fine because we're winning the right currently. And yeah, we've got a ton of power in the middle. Beast. I mean, the opponent's deck's looking a little messy. Looking a little messy, and I'm not talking about the football player, you know, what am I talking? Miniaturized lab. Okay, nothing too much to report there. Going to be good for the opponent, I suppose. Maybe we can move the Nebula out of that location, although we have Killmonger anyway, so don't think much will be affected by that. Misty Knight, this is just really good for me already. I think I'm going with the snap on that. On this particular situation, I can go Mr. Fantastic. The Morag is great for me. This is, yeah, perfect. Great locations. Pretty good stuff all around. Going to be a Cyclops from the opponent. They can get some nice value from this for sure. I wonder, do I Polaris them here? Polaris is really nasty because it may be that they're not able to play a card on the 5th turn. We kind of will potentially brick up that play. Yeah, we're going to go for that. Perfect. So they have to skip their entire turn 5, and we also know that they cannot get anything more than this, you know, Cyclops power in the middle, which admittedly is pretty strong. I mean, they're taking away a lot of value from me here. See if we have enough with the Brood and the, you know, the Killmonger and all of that stuff. Question is, where do we want all the goodies? Definitely do want to play Killmonger, it's just too much value to say no to. I think we do want to do something along these lines. I hope that I can win the middle, but we are sufficiently spread out that probably we can survive against a decent number of things, even if we somehow don't win middle. It should be winning, right? We get +3 plus a further 6 plus 9. They have only 10 there, so they need... To be fair, if they float mana, they might be okay. We'll see if that's what they choose to do. I don't know. I mean, we have a lot of strength here, so... I think we'll be okay. Let's see it. There's a Wasp. Is that a Hulk as well? Yeah, just a Hulk. A little scary. If they had floated, there was definitely a lose con there, right? Perhaps I should have even... Probably should have played Killmonger. It's difficult to say if I should have played that not in the middle or not. It just depends sort of how things shake out, doesn't it? Let's go to the next game. Alright, let's try to get one last game in, shall we? And see if we can't assemble the Kingpin Juggernaut. Found it a little tricky so far. I think that's certainly one of the more draw-dependent combos that the deck has. The opponent's got a Nebula, but I'm pretty okay with that. That's, of course, gonna be right for Killmonger. They're giving me a snap as well, interestingly. I don't really care about Muir Island, because I have the wonderful Shadow King. Honestly, just Brood cloning that seems good. Green Goblin's a little annoying, but it is at least a 3 cost that we can buff up with Surfer, potentially. Will mean I don't draw a card, which is slightly awkward, but I'm not going to overthink it. Just play my Brood in the right, take a probably free win. Pretty free, at least, in that location. Play either Sera if we draw it. Maybe the Brood was incorrect, honestly. I mean, we did limit the amount of draws we have here, which is kind of problematic. Killmonger draw is wonderful news. I'm very happy about that. I'm going to go with the snap here. The opponent should probably be respecting me, but Mr. Fantastic's tempting. I could just go with, you know, like a Maximus here for maximum output, but we do have threat in the left with the Killmonger coming. So I think Mr. Fantastic's alright. Definitely going to be sad if they have a Spider-Man or something like that here. But no, looks like White Queen, they take a Shang-Chi. I mean, I do have that in my deck for some reason. I mean, in the hub. Hub has gifted me great things. Unfortunately, I don't have my Surfer. It would be a really nice play here. So I think I'm going to have to go with the Maximus Killmonger instead. Just to at least put some points in the middle. We might be okay. I mean, they've got to put 6 in the left. I think we should be winning against a lot of expected things, I suppose. Okay, they're playing both in the middle. So I think we're just going to take a pretty chill win. They really didn't respect Killmonger at all. Bit of a throw from the opponent in terms of, I guess probably doesn't care about the cubes because we're infinite rank already, but a win there. Didn't really manage to make the Kingpin work, unfortunately, guys. I think it's a little difficult to pull off, but should in theory be doable. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the deck, enjoyed the video. Thanks a lot for watching. Subscribe as always for more. I have some more wonderful decks in the works for you. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.